Hello, hello. Let's see. Oh, yay. All right, you guys, day 3. This is it. Third and final day in our 3-day Health and Harmony series. If you are on, please give me a little shout out, a little comment, a little like, a little eyeball. All right, I think we are good. Today, we bring it all together, you guys, and I'm hoping I can get through this without getting emotional because when I practiced, good grief, and I was talking to nobody. So, this is exciting stuff. It's impactful stuff, and I'm just so grateful that you guys are here and that you've been participating, and that hopefully this has been a good experience so far. I would love to hear from you guys. Maybe your takeaways, your aha moments, your questions, whatever has come up for you, I would love to hear. Okay, you guys, we are just going to jump right in to day 3 of Health and Harmony. All right. Yay. Hey, Kelly. Hi, Catherine. Hey, Mary. Hey, Sharon. Woohoo. Oh, Sharon, that makes me so happy. Okay, so we're going to recap quickly. I'm not reading all of this, but day 1, we talked about how harmony is what we want to strive for and not necessarily balance. And that in order to strive for harmony, focusing on our routines and our rituals can really help that, making sure that it's all in alignment with who we want to be. And then we talked about self-care and self-love and self-respect for our one body that we get through nurturing it through movement, nourishment, and connection. And just making sure that your health is a non-negotiable. It's a big rock. It's not a tiny pebble. Okay, day 2, recap, lift weights and prioritize protein. That's the basics. Hi, Lori. Hi, Jen. Hi, Jan. Hi, Carrie. I'm so grateful that you guys are on. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. So far, we have had day 1, watch the replay or the live, comment, fill in the homework. Day 2, same thing, comment or replay, comment, and then homework. And again, the reason for the homework is so that you can apply what you're learning and not just be inspired and move on. I'd also love to invite you to introduce yourself on the Facebook group if you haven't done so far. And if you have already introduced yourself, if you want to go in and now share like an aha or a question about the training, I would love that as well. So today is day 3. Again, comment if you're on so that I know you watched, and then there will be homework. In my opinion, this is the most impactful homework, so get excited for it. You want to turn in your homework, all the homework, by Saturday at noon in order to be eligible to win one of the 3 prizes, and we'll go over that later on today. And then the prize winners will be announced on Monday, so get excited. Hi, Katie. Hey, Jessica. Glad you guys are on. Okay, so what to expect from day 3. We're going to talk about some common mistakes that a lot of women make when they first start out focusing on fitness and nutrition, some specific struggles for women in midlife, and some possible solutions. We're going to talk about why motivation doesn't matter, and then you're going to get ready to take control of your future by writing your own self-care strategy. Okay, so we're just jumping right in. Some common mistakes when it comes to the move category. Number 1 is having that all or nothing attitude. So if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear in the comments. I hear this so often with clients. It's like, well, I mean, I said I was going to do 5 days a week and I only did 3. So like, I should just throw in the towel and not even, forget it. It's just too hard. Like, I just don't show up. I always quit, or I never make it follow through, or whatever. It's like that all or nothing attitude. We got to shove that out the window. Doing something is better than doing nothing. And starting small is the key so that you can prove to yourself, oh, I said I would do 1 day a week, and look, I did 1 day a week. Awesome. Next time I'm going to increase just by a few minutes on that same day. And then maybe the week after, it's like, okay, instead of 1 30-minute workout, I'm going to do 2 20-minute workouts, right? So instead of having that all or nothing attitude, we're giving ourselves grace, and we're starting small, and then we're building. The second one I see is doing too much too soon. And this is that, like, I'm going to run a marathon. Like, why not? Like, I did 3 miles and I feel great, so I'm just going to do a marathon. It's like, whoa, slow down. From 3 miles, we could maybe do a 10K, right? Just like baby stepping your way in, because we're in this for the long game, you guys. We want to be able to protect our body and be able to use our body for many, many years to come. So just be careful of doing too much too soon. Okay, here's a really powerful one: not listening to your body. So, when I teach, one of the cues that I say is listen to your body. And what I mean by that is if you feel pain, that means stop. Your body will let you know. There is a big difference between soreness, exhaustion, and pain. Okay, if you've got tight muscles, that's okay. That just means you worked them. If you're a little bit tense, a little sore, that's okay. If you feel pain, please stop. It is time to listen to your body, maybe modify that movement, maybe don't do that movement, maybe seek some help from, a body worker and make sure that you're just really taking care of your body. And then finally, not prioritizing rest and recovery. This one's pretty obvious, but I think a lot of times we're like, well, all I have time for is 30 minutes. So I'm just going to do my weights and my cardio and be done. But it's really important that we warm up, that we stretch, that we cool down, that we breathe, that we, take care of that body going into the workout, coming out of the workout. Super, super important. Okay, common mistakes when it comes to nutrition. Number one, following a fad diet. There is really no reason ever to cut out a food group. There's no reason to restrict your eating to 2 hours in the full entire day, right? Like we really got to just come back to eating intuitively, eating from the earth, the things that we're meant to nourish our bodies with. Do that. Finding balance between our macronutrients. Really cluing into which foods make us feel good, like physically. I eat this food, I feel amazing. I eat this food, I feel like crap. Like that's what we got to clue into. It's not following a fad diet, I promise. Number two is that diet mentality. Telling yourself, well, I got to restrict, I got to deprive, I even have to starve myself in order to see results. It's just not the case. And what we really need to do is give ourselves permission to eat. Permission to fuel our body. We can't expect our body to work and function properly if we don't give it the fuel that it needs. And then finally, and I think I beat this one to death yesterday, but underestimating the importance of protein. It really, really does matter. Oh, Terry, I'm so glad you're on. Okay, so we're jumping into women in midlife. So I want to first say that I have been very, very intentional with this phrase because, and tell me if you can relate, I don't feel like a middle-aged woman. Tell me if you can relate in the comments, because to me, that lady is frumpy, she's low energy, she maybe has rounded shoulders, she's maybe got her head down, and she's like, well, I'm already, glass is half empty over here because I'm a middle-aged woman, right? So to me, this is just a period of time. Like this is just a day. This is just a phase. This is just a part of life. And I'm a woman in this phase. So if that helps you kind of like understand that terminology, I wanted to just explain that. But basically, and ChatGPT helped me with this, but midlife is defined as the period of life between early adulthood and old age. And if you want to put an age range on it, typically 40 to 65, but I will tell you, in our group, we have people younger than that and we have people older than that, and I don't really care because what I'm sharing today matters for women in general. And if you can relate to any of this, you are in a phase where you can see significant physical, emotional, and social changes happening in your life. Okay, so physical changes. So this is changes in metabolism, muscle mass, skin elasticity, hormonal shifts, hello, menopause, any of the emotional and psychological changes like reassessing who am I and what do I want to do with the rest of my life, right? Like, and that is sometimes referred as that midlife crisis. And then finally, the social or professional changes, just like this can be changes in your career or your family dynamics. I know for me, we sent our first kid to college last year. That was a huge change. And I have another one going to college next year. That's going to be another huge change. I have a lot of friends going through divorce. I have a lot of friends, including myself, where it's all of a sudden like, wait, where did some of my friends go? Like the friendships just shift. So if anything, any of that can relate to you like that, then you're probably who I'm talking to, okay? It's a time of reflection, reassessment, and potential transformation as we navigate these changes for our future. Okay, so the struggle is real. There are 8 here, but I could probably list out 8 more easily. And I'm sure some of you could relate to 2, 3, 4, maybe all 8 of these. And I'll just run through them quick. So I called it crazy hormones because they are like this, up and down. Menopause and perimenopause causes symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, and weight gain. I know I do not need to tell you guys this, but this is all very normal, and we need to normalize talking about it because we don't deserve to struggle in silence like my mom did, like I'm guessing some of your moms did, like, oh, just keep it quiet. Like, why do we need to talk about that? Oh no, we need to, because we need to be our own advocates to figure out how can we take this, like be proactive, create a solution for ourselves so that we can get back to loving our life again. Number 2, weight management. So what happens is our metabolism slows down. So it's easier to gain weight and harder to lose it. Well, that sucks. Our cardiovascular health. So we increase the risk of heart disease because of all these hormonal changes, and then also aging. Bone health, again, I think I beat this one yesterday, but decreased bone density, that increases our risk of osteopenia and osteoporosis big time. Then there's the mental health. And this one I feel really passionate about because there are so many women who have these symptoms, depression, anxiety, all these just like icky feelings, and it's due to these life transitions and these hormonal changes, yet we do have control with our lifestyle choices to be able to make an impact. I'm not saying that going for a run is going to take away all of your depression. However, we have to be doing everything in our power. We have to figure out like what's in our arsenal and what can we throw at this to help us feel our best. Then energy and fatigue. So we just feel more fatigued all the time. And again, that's due to the hormones, the stress, the poor sleep that comes along with the hormones, the stress, the lifestyle stuff. And then finally, skin and hair changes. So you'll notice like your hair becomes thinner, more brittle. I'm like, this just doesn't feel like the hair I had in my 20s, right? Oh, Shar, don't be silly. I saw that comment. Okay, so don't despair. You are not alone and you can advocate for yourself. So are there any guesses of what is in your control that can help with all of these symptoms? I'm going to just wait and see if I see anything in the comments. Nobody? Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you then. Move your body and fuel your body. Okay? Those are the 2. Oh, wow, we got happy birthday. Oh, I guess it's from a peace sign. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Terry, exercise. You got this. Other things to consider are hormone replacement therapy. Hello. It got a really bad rap. Long time ago. I took a really big deep dive into this about a year ago, learned so much about it. Yes, you guys, exercise, nutrition, activity, preparation, food. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I will say, and I have lots more to share about hormones and HRT and all this stuff, but if you are struggling with a lot of these symptoms, one of the best things you can do is get the Dutch DUTCH test, which will tell you exactly where your numbers are. It's way better than a blood test, and it's way better than, what's the other kind? Anyway, it's a urine metabolite test, and it actually tells you like your numbers. It's not based on like where you are in your cycle, but it's a very effective and accurate test. And I took it, and I was able to then take action based on my particular numbers. Okay, number 4, improve your sleep hygiene. So I do have a blog about this as well that I will send out. There are lots of things that I have done over the past couple of years to really like nail down my sleep hygiene to where when I go to a hotel and I sleep in a super comfy bed, I miss my setup because it's exactly what I need to make sure that I'm getting the sleep that I need so that I can show up my best. And I'll share more of that information with you guys. Number 5 is stay hydrated. Again, one of the cheapest and easiest things that we can do that really will help with skin, with energy, with mood. And then finally, getting outside daily. Oh, call a friend, Jan, that's an awesome one. Yep, there are so many different things that we can do. And again, like that social piece, we are not meant to do this life alone. We are meant to do this in community. So that's always a great answer as well. So stop treating exercise and healthy eating like an expendable task on your to-do list. Again, as humans, we are meant to move our bodies and fuel our bodies. And as women in midlife, We must lift weights and prioritize protein so that we can build muscle, protect bone density, lose fat, increase energy, and feel our best. So why does motivation not matter? So I gave this speech. This is the third day we'll have talked for over 90 minutes about this topic. And a month ago, I gave a little bit of this speech for 20 minutes. And afterwards, we opened up for questions. And this was the number one question that came up was, but Joan, what if I'm just not motivated to eat healthy and exercise? Like, what if I just don't feel like it? And my answer came like so quick. And I hadn't thought of it or prepared for it. But I was like, well, motivation is unreliable. That's why it doesn't matter. So motivation can fluctuate based on your mood, your energy, your external circumstances, even the weather. If it's raining, I don't feel like going for a run. I'm not motivated, right? While it's great to be motivated, if you rely on motivation, you will be inconsistent and frustrated all the time in your fitness journey and your nutrition journey. Motivation is unreliable. So what we need to do is stop setting goals and start making commitments. So when we set a goal, that's like, if I get around to it, I'll try to fit it in, like I'll do my best. That's the goal, like the goal setting attitude of like, well, if I'm motivated, but the commitment is no matter what. Now, it's not going to always be perfect. There will be things that stop you from doing, and again, there is no perfection, but it's just a difference in the mindset. It's a difference in the attitude behind it. If you set a goal, but you don't reach it, it's like, oh, well, I didn't reach my goal. If you make a commitment to yourself, you tell other people, you have a little bit of accountability, maybe even have some skin in the game, you're going to show up no matter what. And that's what really, really matters. I'd love to hear if that was an aha for anybody. So consistency is the key to nutrition, to fitness, to mindset. We have to find routines and rituals, not just things that we do when we're being good, but like commitments that become habits, which become routine, which become who we are, not just what we do. So in order to have consistency, we need to have perseverance. So instead of waiting for motivation, just be like, well, I don't feel like it, but here I go anyway. And I will tell you, like, there are days when I don't feel like exercising, but I do it. And it's like, you will never regret doing a workout, right? Like, even if it's not the best one, you spent time with yourself, you breathed, you moved your body, you feel that sense of accomplishment, right? Same with nutrition. We just have to persevere. So it's time to step into that next level version of you. But before you can do that and actually like feel it, you have to believe that it's possible for you. Okay, so now it's time for another little activity. So I would love for you guys to imagine that you're in a movie theater. Okay, here's where but I'm good. So here's where I want you to imagine. You're in the movie theater. The lights go down. And all of a sudden, what's on the screen in front of you is your future. 10 years from today, this is you. It's like real. Can you see yourself? Can you feel what it feels like to be in that body, in that future self? Can you imagine the emotions? Can you actually imagine like the physical sensations? And here's why everything we've talked about matters. Because if your future version that you imagined is you and your partner on an airplane going to a bucket list destination, do you know what you got to do? You got to be able to lift your suitcase into the overhead bin. And so that's why you need a body that works. And that's why you need to start today to create that future. And if your future 10-year self is on the floor playing with grandbabies, then you better be able to get up and down off that floor. So this is why that matters. And this is why we have to get crystal clear on who that person is, and not just the physical attributes, but the internal. Like, who is that version of you? How do you describe her? Is she confident? Is she energetic? Is she excited for her life? Because if so, we need to start creating that right now. We can't just be sitting back like, oh, someday I'll get healthy. Someday I'll prioritize eating right and getting to the gym. No, we have to create that today. So, again, to recap, how do we create harmony? We do it by establishing routines and rituals that ground us. And how do we do that? We have to have a strategy. We can't just fly by the seat of our pants. We can't just wing it. We can't just hope that it kind of happens. We can't wait for motivation. We have to create it. Okay, so this is, if you have a pen and paper and you're available to focus now, we can do this now. This is also part of your homework tonight. Okay, so when we talk about designing your self-care strategy, there are 7 steps, but really the first 4 are the important ones because that's the planning portion. Then 5 is the internal, like this intrinsic motivation, like making a commitment. 6 is getting into action, and 7 is a feeling. Okay, so we're going to focus on really 1 through 4. So number 1, and we did this in your homework on day 1, it's really choosing your focus. Like, what is it right now that could use some improvement, that could use a little bit of intentionality? And for the purpose of this training, I really recommend picking one focus. So I will share with you guys after we go through this. I have a self-care strategy for lots of areas in my life. And that's a goal. Like, we can get to that point, we can strive for that. But for right now, I want you to just think about the one thing. Like, what is one area where you could really use some focus? Okay, number 2, name the desired identity. So number 1, so this is an example. So say food prep is an area where you're like, man, I could really benefit from having some food ready to go so that when I'm hungry, all I have to do is open my fridge and eat. So the desired identity that you're craving there is a feeling of preparation, empowerment. You have food to fuel your body so that you're not hangry. And then decide your action. So your action is food prep. Hi, Magda. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so then we got to get specific. So this is where the details really do matter. And this is where you want to list out your tasks that help you with food prep and get really specific, like when, where, how, who, what. So for me, for example, for my food prep, I typically food prep 2 times a week. And I typically do it on Sunday and on Wednesday. And I'm going to take a sip real quick. Okay, so on Sunday, I'm prepping food for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I'm prepping food for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it starts all over again. So what I mean by that is on Sunday, I'll make a menu, I'll go grocery shopping, and I will take an hour to prep whatever it is that I'm making. Maybe it's breakfast, maybe it's overnight oats so that I'm going to have breakfast ready to go because I know Monday morning is just going to be crazy. So I won't have time to cook eggs and oatmeal or even make a protein shake. So I'm just going to reach in and grab overnight oats. That to me is what food prep is. If you want to make all the meals for your whole family for an entire week, like, go for it. That's not my style of food prep. But for this example, this is how specific I want you guys to get. And then number 5, make a commitment, get into action. And when you do that, you will feel empowered. And the key is to continue the motivation, continue that feeling. You just have to keep the action going. It's when you stop that you lose that momentum. And then you're like, well, that used to be something I really did. I used to be really good at this, right? We have to find that consistency. Okay, so what I find is that a lot of times with the self-care strategy, there are some lacks. And if you're lacking any of these, it's really hard to make that self-care strategy become your ritual, which becomes who you are. And number 1 is a lack of clarity. So either you're not really clear on what you're doing or why you're doing it or how you're doing it, right? We have to get super, super clear so that if, say your focus is to wake up early and work out, and you're sitting there in your warm and cozy bed and you're so tired and you're half in that dream state and you're like, well, I could just snooze. It's fine. What if I just skip today? I'll get it in later. We all know later is not going to happen. So it's that lack of clarity of like why, how, where, why does this matter? Number two, lack of commitment. It's a big one. We have to just make that commitment to ourselves, to our family, because we owe it to them to show up as our best self. We have to just stay committed to our health. Lack of plan, this is a huge one. And then lack of support. So I will tell you guys that for me, the fitness and nutrition piece has come naturally, probably because my mom was really like healthy. She set some great examples, whatever. I look back to my younger years when I was a new mom, and I would get up at 4:30 in the morning to go get my workout in because I knew that the entire rest of the day was not about me. It was about everybody else. And if I didn't do something for myself, and I'm just so glad that my past self knew this, right? She felt like, and maybe it was selfish, like I got to do this for me, right? I can't tell you how many times I sweaty breastfed my babies because it was like, I'm getting my workout in, right? And so I say that because I look back at that past version of me and I'm like, wow, way to go. And we have to think like the 10-year future version of ourselves is going to look back potentially to today and be like, wow, way to go. Like you did that. You didn't even really know what a big impact that was going to make. But here's the thing. I will share with you guys that for me, my most recent struggle has been, I love what I do. Like you can probably tell this stuff is really, really like in me. I feel this to my core, like this is my calling. This is what I'm meant to do on this earth. And I want to do this until I can't, like forever, right? I want to do exactly what I'm doing, coaching, inspiring, empowering other women to get healthy. But I don't want to do that at the expense of my marriage or my family. And so this year I did something huge. And my only regret is I wish I would have done it 10 years ago. But I hired a coach and she's like in her early 30s and has 2 young babies and she's the cutest thing ever. And she's so wise. And she is an expert in this arena. And I realized that I need help because I didn't know what I didn't know. I needed a plan. I needed a coach. I needed support. I needed somebody who cared. I also needed somebody who got it. Like she got where I was coming from because she had been there herself. And so I tell you that because having a coach, having someone in your corner, having someone who cares, who really wants success for you and knows how to help you get it, stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's what I've been doing my entire career. And I will say I have no regrets because I have been able to impact lives and I have been able to make a difference. And that's what really lights me up. But I want to make sure that as I move forward, I'm doing that in a really intentional, strategic way. And this 3-day training is part of what I'm learning from her. And it's so exciting to me because you guys are here because she taught me how to do this in a way that lights me up, that helps you learn. And it's a beautiful thing. So that is my advice to you. If you feel like you could benefit from having an actual plan, having somebody to walk you through, having somebody to ask questions of, right? Then stop struggling and find help. And maybe it's not in the health and fitness arena at all. Maybe you're like, man, I really need, help in my marriage, or I need help with my kids or whatever it is. Like, get the help because we are not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to struggle. We're meant to be in community and help each other and learn from each other. So that's my high horse. So now we're going to jump really quick into just something that really is exciting to me, which is sharing real life people. I don't know if Jan is on, but I know Carrie's on and she's coming up. So this is Jan, and I'm not going to share her age, but if she's in the comments, she'll let you guys know. I'll tell you it starts with a 7. But I want to let you guys know that it is very, very, very difficult to increase your bone density. Like that's almost impossible. But Jan was able to do it. So she has been a very loyal participant in my Fit Zone classes for years now. And after her last scan, her bone density actually increased. And so I just am so, so proud of Jan for showing up, for her consistency, for working hard, for lifting heavy in her 70s and actually seeing the benefits. Okay, this is Carrie, and Carrie is on, and I'm just so proud. Oh, Jan is here, 74. You're awesome. All right, so Carrie did my 30-day nutrition reset program earlier this year. And I remember when we were first talking, she was like, I don't know, like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know. It seems like a big commitment. Like, I just don't know. But she felt sluggish and moody and just overall not her best. Like, she was doing a lot of quick and easy things like microwave meals or eating the kids' leftovers and things like that. And she jumped in. And I will tell you, within a week, she already was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like, I'm actually fueling my body instead of letting nutrition be an afterthought. And she was actually eating to the point where she felt full and satisfied several times during the day. And with doing that, she lost 8 pounds and 10 inches. But to me, way more exciting than those numbers is the fact that she has more energy. She feels less bloated. Her mind is clearer, and she just feels amazing. So thank you, Carrie, for sharing your story and for being such an amazing client. And then finally, this is Lottie, and I don't know if Lottie is on, but Lottie and I met probably about a year ago. And I had been, sharing with her, she had been sharing with me that she was vegetarian, has a really high metabolism, and all the time just feels so hungry. And I'm like, well, you're probably not actually fueling your body. She goes like, no, I eat all day long. I'm like, okay, but what are you eating? She was really wanting to just grab for sugary things, whatever was quick and easy. So she came to my food prep demo probably a few months ago, maybe April timeframe. And she just sat there with this look on her face. I was like, I don't know how she's taken this information, hopefully good. And then she went home later and told me that it actually completely changed how she thinks about food, how she prepares food for her family. And she's actually now able to have delicious, easy, nutritious recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Doesn't have to spend hours in the kitchen, and is also really excited that her kids are now eating better as well. Okay, so if you feel like you need a next step, then I got you. I have lots of different offers, lots of different areas, but these are the 3 main that I want to touch on today. So I have a summer Fit Zone special. I very rarely give specials for my fitness classes because they're already very reasonable. But I have this summer special running through mid-June, and I decided to open it up just for you guys from now until the end of June. So if you decide to opt in before July 1st, it's $210 for 3 months of unlimited live and on-demand classes. I promise you, it is a really great deal. The classes are strength, so you're getting your weightlifting. They're also cardio and core and balance, and they're just fun. We do different things all the time because I get bored if I teach the same things over and over again. So I will be sending out an email with all of this information, so don't worry, you don't have to scribble it down, but I would love to invite you guys to join the Fit Zone family. Number 2, this is the 30-day nutrition reset program. It's about $10 a day for the 30 days, and that includes recipes, meal plans, guidebooks, access to me as your coach, and also some healthy living products to really support your journey. And if you're like, I'm not ready for a program, it's summer, I'm going to be having fun, but I do want to increase my protein intake, then I definitely have a protein shake that I recommend that I can also include in the email. And then finally, the one-on-one coaching. So this is a personalized 12-week program based on your goals, your needs, your lifestyle, and it is very high touch, meaning you have access to me. It's like having a coach in your pocket. Very interactive, and I let you kind of guide, and then I come along and support with the program and the strategy and the plan. Okay, and then just to go over our prizes really quick. So again, in order to be eligible, you watch all 3 sessions and comment. Complete all 3 homework assignments. So that grand prize is $150 off of the one-on-one coaching. The second place prize, $100 off one-on-one. And that third place prize is a 30-minute free coaching call. I will say this is the last time I will offer discounts on my one-on-one coaching. So it's an awesome opportunity. I do only have 3 spots left. Okay, you guys, I would like you to do one more thing with me as we finish up today. Please take 2 fingers, find your earlobe, and then slide down. Feel your pulse. That steady rhythm is a reminder of your life, your potential, and your worth. As long as you have that pulse, you have a purpose. Your heartbeat is proof that you matter and that you are worthy of every effort to nurture your mind, your body, and your soul. I believe in you, and I believe that you have the power to create harmony within your life. So let's go forward together, embracing our worth and living our best lives. Thank you guys so much for being on. Here is your homework. So I will email this as soon as we finish today, but you're basically going to name a struggle, midlife, or just whatever, and suggest a possible solution. So, how can you advocate for yourself? And then number 3, you're going to create your self-care strategy step by step. And in the homework, I will detail out what that means, all 7 of those steps. You guys, this has been so life-giving for me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for participating. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's see if it does it. No fireworks. Oh well. Bye, you guys. Thank you for being here.